Right, back on the cork handled fishing rods and sort of restoring them, renovating them, cleaning them up, etc. etc. This is probably going to be the last in this series. And this is all about sealing the handle of a cork rod, of the cork handle of a fishing rod. And talk about sort of why you might want to do that. So this is not the rod that I've shown previously, my friend Mark's rod, where I cleaned up the handle and showed filling it using the super glue. He didn't want me to seal it up. He wanted to keep it original and kind of keep the cork raw. So I sort of looked around. I'm going to use my friend Colin's spinning rod that I rebuilt for him. I just haven't seen him to give it back to him, but I've kind of mentioned it before, but it's this Barkley spinning rod, and I put brand new, pretty good Samo spinning rings guides on it all the way through, whipped it up for him. The original spinning guides, they rusted in salt water. They were just shockingly poor quality, so I thought, this will give the rod a new lease of life. And that was it. But then I sort of decided to tidy up the handle for him. So this was actually done using super glue and powdered cork dust, just sprinkling it in like I've previously shown. And there's hopefully this will show up on camera. There's a piece here I did. This was a really big gouge, and this was a bit messy around here. Plus there's a few other little pieces as well. So this has been cleaned, then it's been filled, sanded down, and then I have washed it. I literally got in the shower and cleaned all of the dust out as best I can. I've masked up the areas where I don't want any of the stuff to get, any of the sealant to get on. So previously I've used this sealant, which is called U40. It's a proper cork seal, and you get it in a 2 fluid ounce 60 millilitres pot, and this amount will do a lot of handles. Yeah, it's like water. You put it on, you only need to put one coat on. So I thought, well, what other options are there out there? And I've done a bit of experimenting in the past, and I thought I'd share these with you, which is to actually make up a sealant based on using PVA based glue or PVA based sealant. So PVA glue is kind of like the white glue that you use for many things around the house, and I've been using this brand called Modge Podge. It was recommended to me by Kevin from the Angling Hobby, and he put me onto it, and I've actually used it and have always been using it for sealing the whippings or the wraps, as they call it on the other side of the pond, before putting the epoxy top coat on there. And the reason to do that is because once it's sealed, it means that the colour won't leach out into the epoxy, and it kind of keeps it keeps the colour safe, I suppose, whatever expression. So what I did, and it works really well, is I took some of this Modge Podge and I've diluted it. So I've diluted it in about 25% of the Modge Podge, or 25% of any PVA glue sealant with water. It is water soluble. So 3 parts water to 1 part of the sealant, the EVA, the Modge Podge, whatever. And then it literally is a case of making sure it's well stirred up, and then it's a case of just painting it on. Now, I should say, and this is an important thing, the reason why I like to use Modge Podge is because I know it dries clear. Some PVA sealants, some PVA glues may not dry clear, so please just check that before deciding on what one you use. I think because it's going to be watered down, however, even if it does dry with a tint, that tint is going to be probably so kind of diluted that it probably wouldn't be that noticeable, but just wanted to point that out. Now, you'd be thinking this is looking like it's going on white. I know from my previous experience where I've been using this stuff for doing the rod guides, the rod whippings on guides, I mean, that it does dry clear, and you don't need to lather this stuff on. And I know from the instructions with the U40, it actually says one coat. That's really important, one coat, and it's got to be a thin coat, and work it. The idea is as you're trying to get some of it into the cork, and so that it kind of forms a bond, a sealant, and then the rest of it is just really on top. So I've been working through, I think I've dipped this in the mixture twice so far, come up real nice. It's come up really nice, but also 2 dips, and as you can see I've done 3/4 of the handle, so I'm going to do one more. I'm making sure that any of the sort of divots or holes that I didn't fill, any of the texture, I am making sure that it's worked in there a little bit. But that's it. I mean, so far so good. So done the whole thing. Done the whole thing in what, about 5, probably not even 5 minutes. I don't know how long I've been timing this, but that's it. So it's finished. I'm going to put this down to dry. The U40 takes, it says it's dry to touch in 30 minutes, can be used after 24 hours. This isn't going to get used for a while, but I'll cut back in when it's dry and just show you what it's like. Right, so here we are a bit later. This handle's now dried off using the sort of PVA Modge Podge diluted kind of whitewash. As you can see, there's no remnants of the colour of the Modge Podge, or the mixture. It's gone back to the natural cork colour. It actually feels like cork as well. It doesn't feel like there's a coating on there, as if it doesn't feel like it's been varnished or anything. So yeah, really sort of, really nice finish. I think it's really done a good job, and you can sort of see still, obviously it's not going to hide where the repairs were carried out, but it also hasn't sort of highlighted them and made them maybe show up a little bit more like maybe like what the U40 does. I'm not sure, I've not really done a hard comparison there, but yeah, I think this is really good. So hope you found this series useful. If so, please like and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you.